What's up, beautiful people? It's a glorious morning here in Carmarthen.
It's already so hot.
It's already so hot. It's like 10 a.m, like 20 something degrees Celsius. And we are just outside our lovely little, it's called the Garden Shed. And today we're going to be going coastal foraging with someone called Craig Evans. It's meant to be absolutely amazing.
He's just arrived.
Hi. Hello. Hello. So Craig has driven us down into Pembrokeshire we're in now, right?
Yeah, we're in Pembrokeshire now.
We're in Pembrokeshire now. We started in Carmarthen earlier today, and now we're in Pembrokeshire, and we're just walking down through the woods. And today we're going to be doing some coastal foraging, right?
Yeah, coastal foraging. We'll talk about things about the geology, history of the area. We'll talk about the local wildlife and all that can be seen between the top end of the tide and the lower part.
Okay.
And everything in between.
And everything in between.
Yeah.
We sorted it so that we're going out right now is a few hours before the lowest tide, right?
It's low tide now, roughly in about 3 hours' time.
Okay.
So the idea is that we go out, follow the tide out to be at a certain point, and then we forage at the lowest point, and then forage on the way back. But for safety reasons, because the last thing you want to do is
Get caught.
Get caught out and be cut off by the tide anyway.
That's it,
So,
exactly.
Rule number one is respect the tide and know what it's doing.
So we got a group of 8 of us here today with Craig, and as you can see, we're just walking down to the beach, just down here now.
Walking down, turning left, we'll be pointing out certain rock pools. We'll have a little rummage about in the pools, explain to you about how the shore works and the ecology of it. And as the tide goes out, then we'll walk towards the headland, where we hope to get lots of other juicy little bits and pieces.
And here we have arguably the most important member of the team. We've got Llew.
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 And that means lion in Welsh.
Llew's my best mate. He's a constant companion, and he has a dream life.
That the rocks here came from like the Caribbean, and they could tell that it came from the Caribbean because when you look at fossils in the rocks of trees, they have rings on them, but the fossils in the rocks here didn't have any rings on them, because the reason for the rings is that they don't grow in the winter, then they grow in the summer. But if the trees are in the tropics, then they grow all year round, so the trees didn't have rings on them, which meant they'd come from really far away, and that's how they worked out that the rock were formed from the Caribbean.
Craig said it was super important to be wearing shoes while we're doing the foraging on these beaches, because there's actually weaver fish that are around here, and they have like a long spiny thing that can go into your foot.
Very
and
painful.
Then it will be super painful, come all the way up to your leg, and you'll probably be needing an air ambulance. So
not ideal.
Important shoes.
These things, okay? These are dog whelks. They come in all different colours. You can get oranges, yellows, whites, dull ones, striped ones, bumblebee ones. And what fascinates me about these is that what they're doing here, they're feeding on the barnacles and mussels and limpet shells. And what they do is turn them over. There's a groove there. And out of that groove comes a proboscis, and what they'll do, they'll grind a hole in a barnacle or anything else, and it'll inject acid from its stomach then into it and digest it from that way. Sounds awful, but the thing in the sea, everything either lives on everything else or eats everything else. Nothing is wasted, and everything's in a balance.
Oh yeah, you can see it coming out.
It does feel glue-like, yeah.
Has it partially stung you?
It didn't hurt. It's all good. Taste test.
First taste test of the course so far.
Some seaweed.
You excited or nervous?
So that's it, okay?
A little bit of both.
Good stuff. Give it a good chew. And it'll taste like something. You can tell me what you think it tastes like. There's the two quite interesting flavours with that.
Thank you.
This is my favourite seaweed.
Ooh, thank you very much.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Sand.
You get like a taste of
Garlicky, salty, mushrooms, all things I like.
That satisfied your craving? Are you feeling hungry?
My stomach was going a little
Tiny bit
bit.
of seaweed, done it. So just along here, you can see a big black line. That's called black tar lichen, which is an algae and a fungi living in symbiosis. That's as high as the sea goes, and he said this is a really great safety marker because you can follow it all around the coastline, and then the sea will never, like on a normal tide, it will never go above that. So find the black mark, get above it, and you'll be safe from the sea. Also, that's when you can start to see all of the greens of the terrestrial plants coming in. And below that, you get all of the barnacles coming on the rocks and things, because that's where all of the sea creatures start.
The reproductive spores of this seaweed is like in a gel. So in the end of it, it's like aloe vera. You feel that? Pop it open and have a feel of that.
It's like aloe vera, look.
That gel, very good for your skin.
Good for the skin.
Good for sunburn.
Let's give it a go.
It's tasty,
Thanks.
It's very mild, it's not like
Yeah, it's not a really strong taste. Yeah, and literally any.
Mm.
Yeah, well that's the
It tastes alright, right?
yeah.
So this line that we're walking along right now is actually really important for coastal foraging. As you can see, it's really rippled. Just along here. And then up here, you've got far smoother sand. And where there's the smooth sand, it's where the waves are like crashing down more on it, is that right? So it like churns everything up, things can't necessarily live under it. Whereas as soon as you get to this kind of rippled sand, then you start to, yeah, it's much easier for things to live, and you start to be able to find, like you said, there was like a stupid amount of cockles literally just centimetres under the surface here. And there's also
really interesting that he said was that on other beaches where they do commercial like cockle farming, you'll only get them at a certain size, but because here that's not allowed, you'll get cockles that are around this big.
relatively small one.
Voila! One soft shell clam.
And that is how you retrieve a soft shell clam.
What he does is just scrapes the surface of the sand off, and there's a chute of water that goes up because that's the soft shell clam retracting its siphon, and that's what makes the water shoot up above the surface.
How you know it's there, as well as seeing all of like the little bubbles.
And then he dug down.
He just dug down, grabbed it out, and he said we're going to get a few more of those today.
And cook them up and try them.
Just waiting a few minutes to walk around this headland because the tide's still going to go down for another 20 minutes or so. And while we wait, we're going to be trying some raw seafood. We're going to actually be trying some raw limpets right now. So time to go and get some.
Yes, I know.
It is chewy.
Yeah.
Would you say it's tasty? Nice. Huh? Let's get the gooey part off.
Yeah, pull back.
See ya.
Anybody like it or anybody not like it? Or?
Very chewy. It's okay. Not my favourite thing in the world. Wasn't bad.
I wouldn't be running
Wasn't
toward,
great.
I wouldn't be running toward it.
Oh yeah. Hello. Ah. Nice.
So these are some small spider crabs with a common starfish as well. These come in to feed on mussels. They with this very strong feet. See the small tube feet at the end of each arm. they'll cover a mussel and they'll force it apart. You look, see it's trying to walk now on its fins and using its tail to propel itself.
Yeah.
So they walk from pool to pool.
Wow.
It's tiny.
And that's a prawn.
Prawn, common prawn.
Glad that we were holding a small female spider crab there because the males have claws that are 5 times as big, Craig just said. So I'm glad it was the female that we were holding. Just here as well, we've got mussels. But those ones there are a little bit too small for us to harvest, so Craig said we'd leave them.
It's got this sharp spike in there, and on its spike, it's got serrations. Yeah. The idea being is that when it gets eaten by a fish, it'll spike the mouth of it, and cut it to spit it out.
And in the really low tide, you'll get carrier bags and carrier bags of prawns just like that. All along here. Having fun?
Yeah, so fun. So much knowledge.
Honestly, learning so much. How much will be retained is another question.
We'll have the vlog for that.
This is probably going to be a crab called a Harbour swimming crab. It's a small white crab. Okay, so dig it out now. And they're quite feisty and they've got really, really sharp claws. Okay,
What are they called?
Harbour swimming crabs. And they're nasty little things. Okay. Well, this is the female, obviously, with the eggs. Okay. Can you see how sharp the pinchers are?
Yeah.
They're like little,
Wow.
they're like little scalpels. See?
Look at that. And it's gone.
So are you looking for another one of those like little domes in the
Looking for a
sand?
dome type effect.
We're now trying to find the clams to see if we can find, they've got like a little dome in the sand, and if we find them you can kind of scratch away the sand and then they squirt water out to propel themselves down into the sand further as like a defense mechanism. So we're going to see if we can find some more so that we can see how high the water can squirt out of them.
This one.
Yeah.
Did you get it? That was such a good one. Cockles.
So next up we're looking for cockles. You can see we are all on the hunt and Han's already found some.
Found one.
Now it's my turn.
Hello. Hello.
So do you think we got a good haul today, Craig?
Yeah, not bad, yeah, but average, yeah. Not bad at all.
Found the razor clam, so that was unexpected.
Bit of a bonus due to the level of the tide. Didn't expect it, but happy days.
Happy days. And a whole load of cockles.
Yeah, plenty of cockles, soft-shell clams, yeah, a few other bits and bobs.
Going to be a feast.
Yeah, we'll, but in a couple of minutes now we'll sort it out and you can see for yourself.
Oh, smells amazing.
Dinner with a view.
Does anyone who can have a little whiff of this so they take the top off?
Okay.
There we go, ready?
Smells amazing. Can't wait to try
Yeah,
some.
welcome.
Super salty
And garlicky.
and garlicky and delicious.
Soft-shell clam, yeah. That's a bit of the foot.
Thank you. Oh, that looks meaty.
That's a bit of the calamari texture.
Thank you.
Nice calamari bits.
That looks so meaty, doesn't it?
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Cheers.
Cheers.
It tastes like
Just
Really
like
nice.
calamari.
really good.
Little stop off on the way back because Craig wanted to bring us to see the wild garlic that we actually just used. with the sauce that we had all over our cockles earlier. And also, was it?
Oyster mushrooms.
Oyster mushrooms. So we couldn't stop here earlier because it was super packed all along here. There was so many people here. But now there's been a few more car parking spaces that have become available. So we've just come down. We're going to see what we can find. You can see all of this here is wild garlic on the side. And in this stream, in the winter, you'll get salmon, the odd one, coming all the way up it.
Thousands of acres of wild garlic all over the UK, right? It's not rare or endangered in any shape or form. It just likes to live and proliferate in damp, shady areas, which is what this is. There's some oyster mushrooms on the logs, eh?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, so give them a wash.
So that is the end of our foraging trip with
The legend.
the legend.
Legend.
And thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's been such a
you're
good
welcome.
time. Yeah, and if you have enjoyed this adventure today, you've got your own YouTube channel, haven't you?
Oh yes, and it's easy. It's called Coastal Foraging with Craig Evans. Come along and have a look. There's about 40 videos on there. All sorts, different places, catching different things, cooking, and in all sorts of weathers. From storms to sunny days. It's great fun.
We've had an absolutely fantastic time, so thank you so much,
You're
Craig. It's been
very
a pleasure.
welcome. Very thank you for your company.
We hope to be back
enjoyed.
very soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Craig.
Bye, Craig. It was an absolute pleasure. That was a lot of food. We
So
had
much
pizza, we had starters, we had limoncello.
It was such a good meal.
Florentino's in Carmarthen was the perfect way to round off today. We deserved it. Amazing day with Craig foraging. If you do get the chance, go and check out his YouTube channel. You will not be disappointed.
The link below.
Link down below. Really enjoyed this trip. Massive thanks to Celtic Roots. Massive thanks to Craig for today. And massive thanks to you for watching it. If you have enjoyed the video, please do leave it a like. Hit the subscribe if you want to see more. And thank you so much for watching. Big love. That feels good around here.
Can't like that
Within that,
reproductive fruiting
gel,
body on my
thousands
face. A limpet. I'm your limpet.
Little poo tube.
YouTube. There are nuts for some oyster mushrooms and some wild garlic.